Deaths related to the coronavirus keeps climbing, and right now Americans from China are heading to San Antonio to be quarantined. Michelle Choi is live in the newsroom with more on this story. Michelle.
Steph, on board that plane are 250 American evacuees. They were set to land at Lackland Air Force Base just after 10 this morning, but right now they're at Travis Air Force Base in California on a layover, waiting to depart for San Antonio in just a few hours. Now, health officials say they've been screened multiple times since leaving China and that it's unlikely any on board are infected with the virus. Now, regardless, they'll be quarantined for at least 2 weeks when they arrive in Texas. And the virus's death toll is still climbing. More than 600 people have died from it, mostly in mainland China. That includes a doctor in Wuhan who was among the first to sound the alarm about the coronavirus. So far, more than 30,000 people have been infected worldwide. That includes 3 Americans on board a cruise ship in Japan. 61 people in all have been quarantined there after testing positive for the virus. And as more Americans are being evacuated, China's president is urging President Trump to, quote, respond reasonably to the outbreak during a phone conference. Guys.
Michelle, thank you.